Hello folks, basic finger picking time. Again, got my Taylor DDX to do all this sort of stuff. And while you do hear finger picking on electric guitar, it is most often associated with acoustic guitar and the singer-songwriter them. The only count we're going to be using today is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, which you may have seen from the drum video or from the strumming video. So, this is how I'm going to go. Now, generally speaking, when you're playing finger picking on acoustic guitar, you're going to use your thumb. The E, A, and D, and first, second, and sometimes third finger for G, B, and E, although it's not universal, and we're going to start off by doing one that doesn't actually follow that directly. So I'm going to do part A, a simple roll. This is a banjo roll. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Simple enough. The reverse roll has a quite distinctive sound to it. It's almost like you're getting two bass notes at once, or successfully, but still follows a 1 and 2 and 3 and. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Again, relatively straightforward, fun to do once you get the hang of it. And there's enough of an alternative that'll make your finger picking stand out a little bit. All right, Travis style. This is basically what everybody does in finger picking music. I'm going to alternate a bass string with a treble string and using my thumb on the bass, fingers on the treble. So I'm going to go here with an A chord, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The great thing about this is you're not using either your thumb or your fingers 2 times successively, which makes speed a lot easier if that's the way you want to go with it. And this is a good, when you're trying to figure out any song, turn it into a finger picking song, a good system to use because it gets you familiar with what's going on with the chords and doesn't require a whole lot of fiddling around with. So the second Travis style, which is on the next page, not just gives you an alternating bass line, which is what Travis picking mostly does, but gives you an alternating sound on the higher strings, which, again, it fills the sound out more, makes it sound much more active without actually being much more active. So, like this other thing. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That kind of idea. Kind of blew the last of the one. So there's this famous Canadian singer-songwriter from really Ontario who made this really popular with some of his more seminal tunes. Again, ask me in class, and I'll let you know who that is. But this is another basis. So this is taking the first one and just embellishing it a little bit. So I get a... just fills things out more. Now you'll see the next couple a little less often. We're going to look at parts C and D, which is ascending and descending. I'm making this, the notes I'm playing go higher and then come back lower again. Now some of this stuff I was really kind of mean to you guys when I did this, so this is where it comes back to bite me. So, starting row 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That sort of idea. Again, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, sort of a thing. Continuing, I can use the same chord shape and move around quite a bit. A famous rock band from Toronto back in the 1970s did this. And again, you want to know which rock band I'm talking about, and it's not Rush. I will tell you in class. So, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So if you listened at all to Q107 back in the day, you probably recognize that. All right, moving on. The next most commonly used one, probably some famous song by a band called Kansas out of the 1970s. This is named after Maybelle Carter, part of a group out of the Adirondack Mountains, which were kind of the grounding of what we call, at the beginning, what we call country music. Maybelle Carter invented this, or maybe not so much invented it. She was the first person widely recorded playing it. Maybelle was probably more famous for being married to having given birth to June Carter, who became June Carter Cash, and whose husband I've already referred to in the strumming videos. In this case, I'm going to pinch, meaning I'm going to put two notes together in one particular spot and then do that eighth note picking alternate Travis style afterwards. In this case, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Again, it's quite distinctive. It's got a really, again, a slightly more full sound. And there's only one extra step from what you've been doing. Similarly, with this particular thing, we can move up and down the neck. And this is another reference from that song that was in the last Carter style. So I'm going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Just like that. So that's your introduction to basic finger picking. Again, as always, got any comments, come see me, email me, leave a comment below if you feel so inclined. And we'll see you guys all on the next one.